guys, I'm Danica and this is Keep Running and Cooking with the Gabb. Hi guys, I'm Danica and for today we are going to be actually baking a bit. We're going to be doing a southern banana pudding. This is actually my grandmother's recipe. This is not mine that I'm going to be showing you guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay guys, now the first thing we're going to do is our actual pudding. So I'm going to go ahead and move the wafers out of the way for 1 second. And all I'm using is just regular vanilla jello pudding. So we're going to use the actual instructions that are on the box. For each box, you're going to add 2 cups of cold water from the refrigerator. Okay, so let's go ahead now. I'm doing a double recipe because I need more for the container that I am actually using. I'm going to be showing you guys. It's actually a casserole dish that my grandmother bought years and years ago in Chicago, and it's just been around since I was little. So we're going to dump both packages into, you can use a regular mixing bowl. I'm using a regular plastic bowl because it's not really that serious. But going forward into actual baking season, I will be taking out my actual mixing bowl. But anyway, the casserole she had was from when I was little. So you guys can see a little bit of my personal history. My grandmother passed on about 5 years ago. But when we left Chicago, I'm here in Vegas now, we took a couple of her things with us, and that was one of them, because I was the main cook and baking person in the family, because I stayed up around her all the time. Everyone can cook and bake, but I kind of sort of stayed up around grandma. So that's how I know like almost all of her recipes for everything, cooking and baking. Okay, now since I did a double recipe, meaning I took 2 boxes and put it in the mixing bowl. For every box, you're going to use 2 cups of cold milk. So 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 4 cups of cold milk. And you can use whatever kind of milk you have. We use the blue kind, the 2%. We don't use whole milk. Well, I don't have little babies where I need like all the nutrients from whole cow's milk. Okay, then you're gonna, now you can use just a regular spoon and do this by hand, but I have a regular hand mixer, or if you have one of the big stand mixers, that works as well. So also to this, I'm going to be adding, since I'm doing a double recipe, a half a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now this is just something for me to eat. No one in my household eats this but me. So I am using imitation vanilla, but I do have pure vanilla, but I save that for my holiday season baking. So just a half is just fine. You don't need any more than that. You're going to be able to taste it. Okay, then you're going to go ahead and beat that on medium speed until it starts to thicken. Now, because I'm using a hand mixer, halfway through my beating, I go ahead and scrape down at the bottom to make sure none of the powder or gelatin powder that they use, the base, is remaining in the bottom. I just scrape just a little bit. See, it was some down there. And then I beat again, still medium speed. Okay, now once you're done beating, once you see the bubbles start coming up in the top, and then you start to see it thickening a bit, if you guys can see that, then you can stop and you can just set it to the side for a moment, and then you're going to go ahead and start your assembly of your banana pudding. Okay, now here is the container that I'm going to use for my banana pudding. This is the one I was telling you guys about. That was my grandmother's. So, what I'm going to do now is take my vanilla wafers and I'm going to line the bottom of this dish. This is, like I said, this is a casserole dish. But I always try to use this because it was hers and this is what she made. Either macaroni and cheese, the oven kind, or banana pudding. So you pretty much are going to take out the entire package from the box. And you're going to use probably this whole thing of vanilla wafers. Now, people have different ways of doing their banana pudding as far as assembly. Now, what I try to do is the cookies that are imperfect and they have like little chips on it on the sides and stuff, those are the ones I use to line my bottom because no one will ever see them. So just line the bottom of whatever dish you're using and then I'll show you in just a moment. Okay, and this is what it looks like when you have the whole bottom lined. Now that's going to be your main base. Now once we have that done, you can set this to the side for just a moment. Okay, now you need a Ziploc bag like this. This is a gallon size. And what I'm going to do is pour a good amount of my cookies in here. And we're going to make cookie dust. Now I'm not going to pour them all. Just majority of them. Now, depending on what kind of container you're using for your banana pudding, keep some in the bag because these are going to actually line the, just as decoration if you want to. That's if you want to. Okay, so we're going to get the air out of here and we're just going to roll it down like this and we're going to seal it. Now, this is the fun part if you have any, like I told you guys in the Italian meatballs video, if you guys have any stress, this will help with that. We're going to pound these to death. So I'm going to flatten them out just a little bit in here. Now you can take a metal spoon, which that's what I'm going to use. I need to buy a new rolling pin. A rolling pin works well too. So we're just going to go ahead and pulverize these. And then actually, I did find this package right here from the last time I made banana pudding of cookies. So I would like to use some of the older package. And I'm just going to put a couple of more in here. And then I'm going to save the rest, like I said, for decoration. So it would be up to you. I would say a box and a half in total of cookies that you'll need depending on what size dish you're going to use for your banana pudding. I don't need a whole lot, but I just thought about I had some, and I like to use my old before I use my new. As good couponers, we do that. Kind of like you rotate your stock. When you get new things, you pull the old to the front and use that first. Okay, now, let's go ahead and start smashing these cookies. Okay, now once you smash some, shake it around a little bit so that you can get some of the bigger pieces to surface. Or if you can flip your bag too, if that helps. And shake it around a little bit and then smash again because we want literal dust. Or, depending on what you like, you can leave it as is like this with chunks and dust. But I like just the cookie dust. Okay, looks like we're just about done. So we have about a fourth of a bag or a third of a bag of dust. Now, don't forget, don't beat it too hard. I've done that numerous times and busted a hole in the bag and was cookies everywhere. So whatever you're using, you don't have to beat that hard to make dust. You can take out your aggressions on it, but not that hard. Okay, guys, now we're going to get started on our bananas. I need to hurry up because I was actually supposed to have this done yesterday. I bought my bananas green and just let them sit and ripe on their own. But I think I waited one more day than I should have. But anyway, these are the bananas that I'm going to use. So, all you have to do is just go ahead and peel them all the way. And make sure you get that little behind part off the bottom and any strings. Now, I have an actual banana cutter. I ordered this, if you guys have ever seen Wish, I ordered this from Wish, and it's just like different little blades, but they're not actual blades. They're actually like just metal, and you just stick the banana in there, and you just squeeze it, and you got slices. So I guess I'm kind of sort of cheating here, guys. But you just take a knife and you just slice them however thick you want them. This one is already pre-done to where they're going to be, pre-sized. So this is what I'm using, but you can use any kind of knife and just make slices that you're going to layer into your pudding. So let me go ahead and get all of my bananas cut. I do have 5 bananas. Okay, guys, we have all of our bananas right here, and they're like, I say about as thick as 2/4 put together for my thickness from my little cheating banana cutter thing from Wish. And they are super duper sweet as well. So now we're going to go ahead and get started with our assembly. Now, what I do for mine, I take some of the pudding and put it over the one layer of cookies I have in my casserole. And then I don't make my layer too terribly thick. I kind of smooth it a bit. But be careful when you're smoothing it so that you don't move the cookies out of the place that they're already in. Okay. Now, I'm going to layer my bananas the same way I layered my cookies. Just in straight rows. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Okay, guys, so that's what that looks like. We have a layer of vanilla wafers. Then we have a layer of pudding. And then we have layered on our first layer of bananas. Okay, next we're going to get our cookie dust. And we're going to sprinkle that in just a regular layer, maybe 2 centimeters thick of cookie dust. And make sure you're getting into these corners too, guys, so that every bite has cookie dust. And for my corners for my bananas, some of the ones from like the ends of the bananas, the smaller little circles, I'll take those and I'll put those in the corners to make sure every bite has banana. And then going forward, guys, this is something that you can use. This is September coming up, October. So this is something that you can use going forward into the holiday season. And it's super duper simple and quick. It doesn't take long at all. Okay, now here is that layer of cookie dust. Now what I do is I don't use more just regular round cookies by themselves. I go with pudding, banana, cookie dust. Pudding, banana, cookie dust. I only use the bottom part for whole cookies for that layer. So next I'm going to do pudding. So this is why we do a double recipe. Now don't put it too thick. If you're using a medium-sized dish like this, you're going to run out of pudding if you make it too thick of a layer. Because we still have the ability to smooth this. Make sure you guys get it in the corners as well. It's a little bit more tricky this time because we have that cookie dust instead of just the regular cookies to maneuver it. Now I'm just about out of pudding, so this should pretty much be it for our pudding layer. So just very carefully and slowly maneuver your pudding. Now if that cookie dust moves and you got a little bit of pudding left in the container, in your bowl, put a little bit more right in that part. So I'm just smoothing it into the corners now. Okay, and that should be the end of your pudding. You can see that it's nice and smooth, and you'll never know that it was cookie dust under there. So next, now it's gonna actually start getting a little heavy too, depending on, like, this is a porcelain casserole. So yeah, it has weight by itself. So once you start layering things into it, it's gonna add weight. So next you're going to start layering in more bananas. Now if you have excess bananas after this, just eat them. Or put more into your pudding if you choose. That will be totally up to you. But the 5 bananas is a good amount to make it throughout the entire however many layers you're making. And you don't want to cut your bananas too paper thin either. About, if you put 2 quarters together, or maybe even 3 quarters together, then that should be the width of your bananas, your banana slices. Okay guys, you can see I only have a couple of bananas left over. So I'm just gonna, any little small gaps, I'm just gonna lay the remainder of my bananas in those spots. Like especially in your corners. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay, now what you're going to do is get the other cookies that you didn't crunch, and we're going to start decorating. So take the ones that you have that look the best. Well, that one is not that great. Let's see. Like this one. If you can see that. And we're going to stick these in the sides. It's okay if your bananas move. Just stick them back where they belong. Just right along the sides. And if you have some that are like the ones you laid on the bottom, if you don't have enough really pretty ones, take the ones that are kind of chipped off, like this one here, where it's chipped right here, and put that side down. No one would even know it was chipped in the first place. That's if you're entertaining with this. I'm eating this. This is mine. Just FYI. So we're just going to continue to go around the entire width of the casserole. Okay, guys, now you can see that they're nice and pretty around the entire circumference. I'm sorry, I gotta stop eating these bananas. But the entire circumference of my casserole. So now we're just gonna go on our last layer of cookie dust and we're done. Okay, guys, I'm pretty much done with this, and you should be too. I am a cookie dust fan, so I used up almost the whole thing, the remainder of, and I might just put a little bit more on top of here too. Like I said, this is mine, but this is your finished banana pudding. Super duper simple, super duper good. Thank you, Grandma. I have to give props where props is due. But yeah, this is really, really great going forward into your holiday season, especially if you're cooking those long meals and you need a quick, fast dessert. Then this is something that everyone can do. If you're a newbie cooker or baker, this is something super easy and simple that everyone can do. Okay, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy couponing with love. Bye.